Continuing with our baseline fundamentals of AI, my intention is to be able to give you a map so that anytime you interact with somebody who's saying that they work in AI, you have a lane to kind of jump into and run with. So in this situation, we're going to talk about let's call it the 4 layers of the AI technology stack. Everyone talks about NVIDIA because it made so much money, right? And like, oh my God, look at this rocket ship of a freaking AI company. So what NVIDIA is at the chips and infrastructure layer, right? This is the fundamental infrastructure that you need in order to produce AI. We won't go into more details later, so that's the first layer, chips and infrastructure. Then we go to foundational models, which is like your GPT 3.5, GPT-4 from OpenAI. You've got Llama from Meta, which is Facebook. You've got Claude from Anthropic. These are different companies that have learned how to create models using the chips and the infrastructure provided by NVIDIA, Intel, and AMD, right? Then you go up another layer in another stack, which is developer tools. So this is where the software developers are creating new ways to leverage these models, because models in and of themselves are these packages that you drop off somewhere, right? A lot of them are what are known as closed models. So it's this thing where you can kind of like prompt and ask and it'll spit something back out. But you need to take that raw power and stick it inside of a toolkit or framework in order to then produce software that people can actually use, which is the next layer up of applications, right? So in the case of ChatGPT, right, that product, everybody's familiar with. You go to chat.openai.com and you start talking to it. Well, that is an application. That application of ChatGPT is interacting with various models underneath. And there are different developer tools that are built around that model. So if I was to compare it to a car, chips and infrastructure would be like the raw metals and the plastics and the assembly lines in order to produce cars. Then you go to foundational models, and I would say that's like the engine, right? So there's small engines that Honda will make or Toyota will make, and then there's like really beefy engines that Ford or like Peterbilt will make for like, trucks that need a lot of power, right? Or like sports cars with really fast engines, right? So there's different engines, and I would make that comparable to different foundational models within the AI space. Then developer tools would be like, how do you put all of those things together? The analogy there could be like a special software that can help you understand the engine output, right, of a car. So like that's like Dymo or whatever. There's these different tools that allow you to make better cars, right? And then the applications themselves are the cars. There's a fully put together solution that gets you from point A to point B with AI. And that's the thing that people and users actually interact with. And so there's all these kind of layers. And if you're an investor or if you're trying to be an entrepreneur in this space, you need to figure out this AI technology layer and figure out what do you want to put in each piece and what do you want to focus on. Right. And each one of these, obviously, I can go into a whole kind of explanation, but that's what I wanted to shoot off with at the very beginning. You've got the very fundamentals, right? Is you've got chips and infrastructure. This gets a lot of attention because it's the infrastructure. Nothing can exist without the compute to build all of this AI. Foundational models is like very specialized engines, right? So all these companies are working on their best model that they think is going to perform better than the others. Then developer tools is what software developers use to stitch these things together so that they can, make better applications. They can do better testing. They can prepare the data in a certain way so that it can be used more easily in their applications. And then applications are the end-to-end product that end users play with and interact with. So there you go. That's the AI technology stack, and we'll probably go in through each one and kind of talk a little bit about them.